I'm from a place called Bogalusa. It's a reasonably small town surrounded by other somehow even smaller towns in the same corner of nowhere. I always hear stories about how it was once something to be proud of, a populous and growing place, before in the same breath, hearing about the fact that it's dying. Somewhere I should flee when I get the chance. Growing up on a farm without internet or anything more than public access TV, I got used to hearing stories about the town. Stories about how the town came from nothing, how the parks used to be beautiful, and how there was once this large dammed up pool on the side of Cassidy Park. And sometimes when their sentimentality wore off, I'd hear stories of the race riots, the violence, and the other numerous atrocious events that also plagued our town. There's one thing that sets our town apart, and it's also one of the only things that Bogalusians are still proud about: the paper mill. It's gone through multiple owners and names, so we just call it the paper mill. It's almost directly in the middle of town. The town quite literally grew around it, and anybody that drives through the town or visits it for more than a second can never forget it because of that disgusting smell that we locals only hear about and never smell ourselves. It is the reason that our town grew when it did and survives when it doesn't, at least according to the locals. Today I'm going to tell you about a chemical spill. On paper, it caused no deaths or serious injuries, but everyone in town says differently. It happened in 1995, and from now on, I let the people that were there do the talking.
John Miller, born and raised Bogalusa. At the time, I ran a commercial graphic artist company doing letterheads and business cards and advertisement work. We lived about 8 blocks away from the paper mill. I drove back and forth beside the actual point of chemical spill leak probably almost 6 times, before, during, and after. The last time I tried to go by that area, they were already blocking off the roads. I had already seen commotion going on at the mill. I seen the actual cloud go up, not start, but I seen it up in the air. The cloud that basically from the road you could see a rail car parked near a building and a fire truck adjacent to it. They had sprayed it with water, and then what was almost an unseeable small mist coming out of it went to a giant cloud that was, several hundred feet wide and probably just the same amount as tall.
We found out what was going on. Plus, my wife was a medical transcriptionist at the time, and she was getting reports on people with upper respiratory issues, sinusitis, raw throat, cough, phlegm, all these types of things. And you have these chemical cars, chemical tankers coming in, and nobody knows what's on them. And they're sitting in these railways all over the place here in town. They're in the mill. At any given time, they could leak. Any given time, they can explode.
You think there's a risk of this happening again?
Yes. Very, very much high risk.